Do. Okay, we should be live unless something has gone horribly wrong, which it might have done. And if not, uh, hey everyone, welcome aboard. I think I would have thought of something better to say than that before hitting the go live button, but no, apparently not. That's fine, we'll roll with it. Welcome to this experimental little trial I am running. So I've been thinking about maybe doing some streaming for a while now. I love to yap about dweeby shit, so this could be kind of a fun way of giving that a go. I was thinking of maybe doing some composition, some live composing, and maybe talk about theory from time to time. Anyways, something has been bouncing around in my head. And this week is the 10th birthday of Undertale. Undertale was a super important game to me. I would not be sitting here in this city with my career, with my hobbies, music included, had it not been for Undertale. So I really wanted to do something to commemorate that anniversary. And I was thinking about writing a string quartet. So that has been I've been sort of pacing around my room all day, gesticulating wildly, talking to no one but the voices in my head, and I thought, you know what? If I wanted to try doing composition streams anyways, and I'm already talking at nobody, might as well try talking at somebody, and at least get some practice in. So yeah, we'll jump right into it. So I'll say that the basic structure of what I want to do here is a string quartet arrangement of his theme. The reason being, many, many years ago now, oh gosh, like 2016, 2017, it was one of the first things I uploaded to MuseScore. Certainly one of the first that got any kind of public attention. That was, super exciting. I was very, 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 very flattered that anyone would ever want to listen to anything that I made, and I still am. So I thought it would be kind of a fun exercise to revisit that idea and see what we might come up with. So, okay. I think at this point, this is likely going to be a relatively short stream. I mostly just want to discuss what the overall structure is going to look like, because that's actually where I've been getting stunlocked lately. The problem with his theme, right? It's a beautiful, beautiful little motif, but it's really, really short. Gosh, I hope that this is audible. We'll find out later. But his theme has basically two ideas in it. And then there's. Right, that's kind of all you have to work with, and they only get put together, at least in the original song, original track, I should say, in one way, right? Idea A is repeated 3 times, and then it's followed by idea B, and then there's loops, and it builds, and that works wonderful in that, partly because they're able to bring in such, Toby is able to bring in such lush orchestration, he's able to really add layers cumulatively over time to build the musical intensity that he needs. If we're constrained to a string quartet, we can kind of do that through varying the texture as we go along, and opting for thicker or louder dynamics, or more aggressive rhythmic figuration as the piece progresses. But you can really only go so far, right? You've got 2 violins, a viola, and a cello. The sound you get at the start is basically going to be the sound you get at the end. And when you're dealing with what is essentially one, frankly, musical idea, right? I guess you could segment the 2 halves of the of the motif into like these two separate pieces of material, but basically one coherent musical idea, you don't have a lot to work with, right? And so you also just can't loop the same texture with the same material without varying the form, without it getting boring really, really fast. So there are a couple of solutions we might, apply to something like this. We could vary the harmony, and his theme does permit a variety of different harmonizations, right? So, in the actual track, his theme, we get something like I think it's in B. I'll transpose it to C just because I'm lazy. We do get something like F to G to A to C, right? It's a very pleasant harmonization. In memory, we get it's more implicit, right? Because it's only two tracks. We have the melody and then the sort of an underlying sort of bass kind of thing, right? And that bass sort of implicitly outlines a four, either a three or a one in first inversion, and then a six. And then there might be a walk down through scale degree 5. I don't quite recall off the top of my head, but it doesn't matter. Point being, we get at least two harmonizations of the main motive from his theme. And so one approach we could do when we're tackling this idea of how to organize the form for a quartet that uses this material is vary the harmonization. We've got two options here. We might be able to think of some additional ones as we go along. But, I have to say, I think we're going to really run into a brick wall there too. Because, scale degree 5 is spoken for in throughout the entire piece of the material, so we're not going to be able to do any kind of cool applied dominance to, say, 6. Scale degree 1 is spoken for, so we can't do an applied dominant to 2. There's not, an incredible amount we can really do. The only, if we were really trying to vary the harmony but keep it interesting, the only thought that's come to my mind so far is a flat 6 chord, right? Could probably work over the first part of the motive. So, something like... Right, it's spicy, but it at least follows. We're not hitting any strong tensions there or any avoid tones. It would kind of work, but that's not a lot, right? Two harmonizations plus one chord isn't a great foundation for an entire string quartet. Now, of course, when I say string quartet, I'm not imagining we're going to have a 4-movement, classical construction based on this idea, right? I'm shooting for 2 or 3 minutes, probably, relatively short. So it's not like we have to do a whole lot, but even there, I don't think, certainly just varying the harmony isn't going to get us to where we need to be. The texture can also kind of work to some extent. What I have so far, this is more of scratch work, right? This is all of a musical notebook more than any kind of fleshed out idea. We are able to begin with something that kind of has a nice music box figuration. Start back at the beginning. Right, I think the pizzicato does a really good job of sort of emulating that music box sound. I think that could be a really interesting idea to explore. Once we bring in the entire quartet, we can also get... Ooh, hang on, sorry. The stream is yelling at me, as it likes to do. I've learnt. Okay. The stream is yelling at me. So, okay, that's fine. We will. I think I'll call it there, actually, which is fine. This gives me a good chance to check if the VOD is actually going to generate in the way I expect it to. It will let me check if the sound balance is, it's finally right. Probably isn't, frankly. But yeah, we can go from there. But to anybody who the viewer count is actually kind of like flicking on and off here. If anyone who isn't me has actually been in the stream or is in the stream right now, hello, welcome. I hope you got something from my incoherent rambling. And I will catch you soon. I will be streaming the rest of this as I make my way along. So we'll see how this all plays out. Thank you so much, and ta-ta for now.